Okay, so guys, we were there into the weighted average cost of capital, famously famously called as WACC. That stands for the overall cost of the finance. I had told you that why we do the weighted average instead of the simple average of all the cost of finance we find for all the sources putting together. Why there are specific weights given to the specific sources? Because, sir, giving them the equal importance will be the great injustice who are contributing too much into the sources, and that would be a great undue favor for those who are contributing very less into the sources. So, my friends, we are supposed to find the weights first. We had started one question. Over there, I had told you to find the weighted average cost of capital. I guess this was the question here. So you were supposed to multiply the cost of finance with the weight. So we get the equivalent cost, and we do the total of all this four. We get the weighted average cost of capital by taking the book values to find the weights. So may I have a confirmation that you all are there with me? ये हमारा solve हो चुका है. कितना परसेंटेज आंसर आता है जरा सा बता दीजिए. जरा सा बता दीजिए. अरे हरे हरे हाँ. जरा सा मैं भी कर लूं. अरे ना रे ना रे ना. 0.17 multiplied by 0.25. That was the first. Equal to. So basically we were multiplying the weights with the cost of finance, so we get the equivalent cost, and we wanted to do the total of all the equivalent costs. So 0.17 multiplied by the weight of reserves and surplus 0.25. Then we have got reference capital 0.12 multiplied by 0.125, and then the last one was 0.054 multiplied by 0.375. So in total we get 12.02, I guess. Let me just convert that into a percentage. I hope everyone would have got the same answer there. That reaches to 12.03 percentage. That's the overall cost of finance of a company. But that was after taking into account the book value, sir. Sir, what if we take the market value as a base rather than the book value? That is more preferred. Being a finance student, if you get the weights after applying the market values, that is more reliable answer. Because at whatever the amount you have recorded your liabilities, your sources in the book, in the accounting, rather than that, if you take the market values, at what values this sources or the securities are traded in the market, now that certainly increases the reliability of this weighted average cost of capital. Rather than what we record, let's take the values which are assigned by the public at large. हम कौन होते हैं हमारी वैल्यू डिसाइड करने वाले? लोगों को डिसाइड करने दो कि हम कितने पानी में हैं, कितने ऊपर हैं. तो market value weights are more reliable. But sir, in the calculation, these things will not get changed. Only change will take place. Instead of book value, there will be a market value. So let's take the market value now. Serial number, then sources of finance. I'm doing it. Sources of finance. Then instead of book value, I'm taking market value. Then the cost of finance. Then there will be a weight, and then there will be equivalent cost. Sir, there are 4 sources of finance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just writing it over there. अब ज्यादा भाव देने की जरूरत नहीं है. इक्विटी कैपिटल को सिर्फ EC लिखता हूं. Then reserves and surpluses को I am just writing R and S. Then preference capital को I am writing PC. Not Priyanka Chopra, it's preference capital. मेरे को मालूम है लोगों के दिमाग में PC में प्रियंका चोपड़ा. Oh, प्रियंका चोपड़ा नहीं है. Then debentures, I'm just writing DEB. Okay. Now, sir, there won't be any value of reserves and surplus in the market. For preference capital, yes, there can be a market price. For debentures, yes, if they are publicly traded, there will be a market price. For equity share capital, yes, if they are publicly traded, there will be a market price. But what will be the market price of the reserves and surplus? See, my friend, try to understand. In market price, the net worth of the company is already been considered. When I say net worth, that means including the reserves and surpluses. So say this is how the financial statements looks like. Here you have got the assets in the balance sheet. Here you have got the liabilities. Here you have got the capital which you have gathered from the various sources, and here you have got the reserves and surpluses which you have gathered over a period of time. This is how the balance sheet looks like, right? Now effectively, if you reduce all your liabilities from the assets, that is your net worth, right? What is your net worth? Assets minus liabilities. So I can also call it as net worth equal to capital plus reserves and surplus. As simple as that, because that is what two things are remaining now. So capital, you have gathered long-term sources of finance, preference capital, equity capital, and outsiders liability will not be taken into account. Loans and borrowings will also be a liability only. And if I add the reserves and surpluses into it, I get the net worth. Now see, the equity stock in the market is traded at the net worth value of the stock. I mean, that is basically a criteria which the people see. So in market, the reserves and surplus effect is already considered. So why I'm explaining this to you is that the market value of reserves and surplus should be taken as nil. I'm just taking it as nil because that is already included in the equity capital, and there is a strong justification behind it. There has to be a rationale. Why? Because market price includes whatever the reserves and surpluses which company has gathered. Not in the calculation, but in the shareholders' perception. Shareholders' perception involves the value of reserves and surplus. They want to pay the price in relation to their net worth, and net worth includes the reserves and surpluses. So market value will be zero. That is the only thing you will be making here. Rest everything will remain same as it is. Now we'll be finding the market value of equity. So friends, how many total number of equity shares are there? 2 lakhs given to us in the question, and each share is having the market value of 30 rupees per share, right? So total market value of the equity would be 2 lakhs multiplied by 30. So market value of equity will be 2 lakhs multiplied by 30. So basically you get 60 lakhs over there. And reserves and surplus are already included over there. I'm not writing it. Just take it as zero. Preference capital. Let's see that. Do we have the market value of the preference share? And if no market value of the preference share is given, we assume that the book value is the market value. So it's given to us 10 lakhs in this case. No details related to its market price given to us. I'm just writing 10 lakhs as it is. Book value is the market value because no details related to market price is given. Only for the equity it was given. Similarly, friends, for the debentures, do we have any information that at what price these debentures are traded in the market? No, sir. No such information is given in the question. Straight away take 30 lakhs as the market value. So your total capital reaches to 1 crores in terms of the market value. Then the cost of finance will remain same, because in that calculation there will be no role of any market values. 0.17. Second one will be, you can write it 0.17 reserves and surplus, that's fine, but anyway anything that is multiplied with 0 will become 0. So whether you write it or not, that does not make any difference. Preference capital 0.12, and the last one we have got is 0.054. Now, when we were finding the weight in the book values were taken, right? But here it's a market value, so market value will be taken, obviously. Sir, ये भी कोई कहने की बात हुई, लेकिन फिर भी कही. So, what is the weight of equity out of the total market value of firm? So, in 1 crore, it contributes 60 lakhs. So, it is basically 60%, so I can write it 0.6. Preference capital contributes 10 lakhs in the total market value of its sources of finance of 1 crore. So it is basically contributing 0.10, and debentures are contributing 30 lakhs out of 1 crore. So weight would be 0.30. You multiply the weight with the cost of finance, you get the equivalent cost. Everyone start doing it. Equal to 0.17 multiplied by 0.6. First one I get 0.102. Reserves and surplus would be nil. Then 0.12 multiplied by 0.10, 0.012. And the third one. So we get 0.0162. And if I do the total of all these four, I get the weighted average cost of capital by using the weights of market value instead of book value. Let's do the total of this. यहाँ पे तो खत्म हो चुका और कुछ करने की जरूरत है ही नहीं. Just let me convert that into a percentage. We get 13.02%. That's the WSEC as per the market value. As per the book value, we had got 12.03%. May I have a confirmation that every student is there with me till now? All of you? हर कोई मेरे साथ है कि नहीं? Yes. सर एक तो आप दिन में 2-2 लेक्चर लेते हो, उसमें भी बीच बीच में पूछते रहते हो, तो मेरा हक है. I am the professor, why can't I ask you? 13.02 मुझे हक है. और आप भी जल लीजिए, थक गए होगे थोड़ा. The famous meme of मुझे हक है. Let's move ahead. Sir, the question is not over yet. Why? Because there was one more part which was required to be solved. This part. Now we have got the weighted average cost of capital of the various companies belonging to the same industry. So let's read that part again. Compare the WSEC of a company with the industry weighted average by market capitalization and comment. The competitor companies from the same industry have got the following weighted average cost of capital. Wasapur Limited 10.2, Dawn Limited 11.50, Lokhandwala Limited 13.50, and once upon a time in Mumbai Limited 15%, and we have got their market capitalization as well. So we are supposed to find the industry average. Now industry average, where how we'll be taking? If we take the simple industry average, then you cannot give the same weight to Mukesh Ambani and Chandu Lal, because Mukesh Ambani has the gigantic magnitude scale of market capitalization, and Chandu Lal Limited would have just now been incorporated. So you got to understand that we should be giving some weights while taking the industry average. And what is the best way? Obviously, the thing that is given to us will be taking, right? That is the only information available. That is the market capitalization. So market capitalization is basically the market price per share multiplied by the number of shares. So let's find the average of all these companies first of all, and then we'll be comparing it with the our company, right? And do not forget that in the average of industry, our own company will also be there. Now here we'll be assuming that whether it is a WSEC as per a book value or it is a WSEC as per a market value. So let's assume that we have got the WSEC as per a market value only. So we'll be taking the market value as the base to calculate this. So part number two was this only, I guess, market value. So part number three, okay. Industry average of WACC. So let me first write our own company, which is a Mirzapur Limited, then Wasaipur, then I guess there is a Dawn Limited, then Lokhandwala Limited, then we have got once upon time in Mumbai Limited. So Mirzapur Limited's WSEC, will just be writing the WSEC of all of these companies putting together. Mirzapur, we have got 0.1302 as per the market value, because I told you that we'll be assuming that other weighted average cost of capital are given to us based on the market value only. Wasapur's WSEC is how much? 10.20. So I'm writing it 0.1020. Dawn Limited, we have got 11.50. So 0.1150. Lokhandwala Limited, my friends, we have got 13.50. I'm writing it in decimals, not in percentage, to avoid the ambiguity or confusion. Once upon a time, we have got, I guess, 15, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 15. That's why I tell you people to take a snap of it, 0.1500. Now see, if we just take the simple average, then I guess it would be a great injustice with the magnitude at which these companies are operating. We should take this into account. So market cap we are writing of all of this. Mirzapur's market capitalization would be how much? They have got 2,000 shares and 30 rupees is their equity. Now let's take it that market cap can be found by using the market price multiplied by the equity share capital, but if I'll be taking that, then it would be 2 less as comparison to others. Let me add one more statement over here. You may just add it. that for the calculation of industry average, consider market cap of Mirzapur at 5,000 crores. So for the purpose of industry average, consider the market cap of Mirzapur at 5,000 crores. So we'll be taking it 5,000 there. I hope everyone is doing it along with me. Just a second, the pen has stopped working. Just a second, I'm just repairing my pen. Some problem is there. It started working good. So Mirzapur would be taken 5,000. Then Wasepur is 5,000 given to us. Then Dawn Limited is how much? 11, 7,500 and 6,500. Let's do the total of all this market cap. Let's see how much we get. 5 ને 5 10 ને 21, 21 ને 7 28, 28 ને 6 34, 34 ને 35. I guess 35,000 we will get as the market cap. Now we'll find the weight, because we do not want to find the simple average of this overall cost of finance, because everyone's magnitude of scale should also be taken into account. That's why we are finding the weight. Okay, so sir, from 35, that fellow is contributing 5. So what is the weight of that? 5 divided by 35. So that comes around 0.1429. Then again there is a 5, so 0.1429. From 35, this Dawn Limited contributes 11. So what's gonna be their weight? Let's see that. Their weight is 0.3143. Then there is a Lokhandwala Limited, which has got 7,500 as a market cap. So that is 0.2143. And there is a last one, which is Once Upon a Time in Mumbai Limited. That is 6,500 divided by 35,000. So we get 0.1857. Now the weight, the total of all these weights will always be 1. So now we can find the equivalent cost. So multiply the weight with their WSEC. Multiply the weight with the WSEC of all these companies. And once we get the equivalent cost of everyone, we'll just add it up. So we get the industry average. So let me do it for the first one. Equal to 0.1302 multiplied by 0.1429. So that is 0.0185 0.61. Let's do for the second one. 0.01458. For third one, what we are doing, you people are aware about it. WSEC multiplied by the weight. Now we are finding the industry average, so everyone's overall cost of finance are taken. Point 1150 multiplied by 0.3143. So we get 0.03614. Let's find it for the fourth one. 0.1350 multiplied by 0.2143. We get 0.02893. And the last one, my friends, equal to 0.15 multiplied by 0.1857, and we get 0.02786. So let's add up all of this. Okay, so I'm getting 0.1261. So that is basically 12.61 percentage. May I have a confirmation from the students that you are also getting the same? That is going to be the industry average of WSEC. Now, why we are finding the industry average? There could be specific reasons behind it. I'll explain that to you. Before that, may I have a confirmation, please? हर कोई मेरे साथ में है? अब तक हर कोई मेरे साथ में है भैया? बता दीजिए, इंडस्ट्री एवरेज सबका फाइंड हुआ? कहीं पे अटक रहे हो, कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो बताइए. Everyone, confirmation please. Shall I move ahead? If you want me to wait for some time, then I'll be waiting, don't worry. Only from Mr. Jaide I have received the confirmation yet. Others are doing some calculations. From Hemali and Deepesh, we have received the confirmation. Let's move ahead. So industry average is 12.61. Let me just write it. Industry WSEC is 12.61. And companies WSEC as per the market value, because we are assuming that everything is based on market value. This is just for the analytical purpose. That reaches to 13.02. So now company's overall cost of finance is more expensive to the industry average. So what could be the further analysis based on this? Now this company, our own company, may think about revising their capital structure because their cost of finance is comparatively high as per the industry standards. Industry standard is 12.61. That's the average. So your WACC should also be over there, at least if not lesser than that, then you should have at least equal to it. But if you have more than that, that means you are paying more to your sources of finance as compared to your industry. So based on this, the company may take the decisions further to revise the capital structure a bit, that what should be the sources of finance we have got, to revise their dividend amounts per share. If they reduce the dividend, then the cost of equity will get reduced, and if the cost of equity gets reduced, then the overall cost of capital may get reduced. Having a word with the banks and financial institutions regarding revising the interest rates so their overall cost of finance reaches near to the industry average, or if it is lesser than industry average, then obviously that is the great thing. That is what every industry wants to do, but that's very difficult to do so. But it should be at least equal to that, if not lesser than. So that's how the conclusion of this entire exercise should be. Right, so with this, we'll move to the next question. Please take a snap of it. This is going to be the next question we are going to solve today right now. 50 to 60% of the things will look quite similar. Only few calculations related to cost of finance will have greater detail. Okay, so let's start reading the question without wasting much time now. XYZ Limited has the following book value capital structure. You may copy this, everyone. You may take a snap of it if you want to. I'm zooming it up further so that you won't have to look at the screen again and again. 11% preference capital, retained earnings is given to us, debentures, and 15% term loans. The next expected dividend on equity share per share is 3.60. The dividend per share is expected to grow at the rate of 7%. The market price per share is ₹40. Preference stock redeemable after 10 years is currently selling at 75 rupees per share. Debentures redeemable after 6 years are selling at 80 rupees per debenture. The income tax rate for the company is 40%. We are required to find the WACC by using the book value proportions and market value proportions. Well, we people are aware about this format. Let's go to that format straight away. So part number 1 is WACC as per book value. Okay, sir, first is the serial number. Then it comes the source. Then it comes the cost of finance for each source. Then it comes the book values. Then it's weight. Then it will be equivalent cost. Ultimately, we want the equivalent cost. So if you change some orders, cost of finance को ऐसे ही चल बार ऐसे करके बाजू में फेंक दिया तो भी चलेगा, कोई बात नहीं. We want equivalent cost. That is the ultimate purpose. Okay, so how many sources we have? 5 given to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just write serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I hope everyone is doing it along with me. सर हमें तो एमसीक्यू एग्जाम ही देना है, तो फिर बड़े बड़े क्वेश्चंस क्यों करवाते हो? अरे एग्जाम कोई भी फॉर्मेट में हो, लर्निंग में कोई सेक्रीफाइस नहीं करना बेटा। फर्स्ट इज इक्विटी, then it's preference capital, then it's retained earnings, then debentures, and the last one is term loans. Cost of finance is required to be found. So let's go to working note number 1. KE, cost of equity. Now I expect from you, we have already solved one question. Which method of cost of equity will be used to find the KE here? Can someone tell me? Unmute yourself, or you may just convey that to me through chat box. Anyone? Dividend yield model, no? याद आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा? So KE as per the dividend yield model. So sir, KE equal to D1 divided by P0 plus G. D1 stands for the dividend. Now dividend is given to us for the next year. So it already includes the growth rate of the current year. It is stated to us, no, that dividend is expected. The next expected dividend on equity share is 3.60. So that means obviously the growth rate is taken into account. But if you had the last year's dividend, then you would have added the growth rate as well in that dividend. But we'll be just taking 3.6. So 3.6 rupees. P0 stands for the market price, that is 40, plus the growth rate. I'm just writing it in a decimal. How much growth rate we have, sir? 7%, can also be written like 0.07. So 3.6 divided by 40 equal to 3.6 divided by 40. So we get 0.09 plus 0.07. So we have 0.16. So that's gonna be my cost of equity. Working note number 1, taking it over here, cost of finance equity 0.16. तो भैया कोई भी बुद्धि चलाए बिना सीधा ये कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी को रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस में लिख डालो, because cost of reserves and surplus is equal to cost of equity. Ultimate right of reserves and surplus is belonging to the equity shareholders. Now preference capital, KP. Now is there any information given to us related to preference capital? Let's see. Read out this line. I'm highlighting that, underlining that. Preference stock redeemable after 10 years is currently selling at 75 rupees per share. See, earlier the details related to redemption were not given in the last question. So we had taken directly the dividend rate as the cost of preference shares. But sir, here in this case, we have got the details related to redemption, its maturity and everything, its market price. Then we should follow the formula we had done for the KP. So I'm just writing the working note number 2. KP, the KP formula was, if you can recall it, D plus MV minus SV divided by N. Remember that in the back of your mind, MV plus SV divided by 2. D stands for the dividend per preference share. MV stands for the maturity value. SV stands for the sell value. Okay, flotation cost is not given to us, so we'll just straight away ignore it. उसको ऐसे भाव नहीं दे, उसको इग्नोर मार, चल कल्टी नहीं चाहिए तेरी जरूरत, कुछ फ्लोटेशन कॉस्ट नहीं है तो फिर क्यों भाव दे उसको. डिविडेंड पर शेयर, लेट्स गो टू the second statement here, 11% preference capital. Now 11% is on face value. So basically per share dividend is going to be 11 rupees. 11% of 100 is 11 rupees. So my dividend per share is gonna be 11 plus market maturity value. Maturity value is how much? Is there any information given? No. So whatever the par value we have, face value will be assumed as the maturity value, right? If no information is given to you, you assume that whatever is the par value will be taken as the maturity value. So par value is 100. So maturity value will also be taken as 100 minus sell value. Sell value you can count, you can calculate by using one format I had given. That was looking like this, you know, face value plus premium, or if it is a discount then you reduce the discount, so you get the issue price, then you reduce the flotation cost, so you get the sell value. That is ultimately the money you receive. Now what happens is that no information related to flotation cost is given, no information related to premium or discount is given. So how much per share money any investor will give you? Obviously not more than what is the market value. So right now the market value of the preference share is given to us, no, 75 rupees. See, you want to issue something to the people, then how much more money they will be paying for that? Obviously up to the market value. No one will be paying you any penny more than the market value, which is the highest rate any person should get. 75 rupees is the market value. People will pay you 75 if you issue it again. So 75 will be taken straight away as the sell value in absence of all such details. So let me take 75 as the sell value, and number of years in maturity. How many? Let's see. Preference stock 10 years, redeemable after 10 years. So I'm taking N as 10. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the average of MVSV. The whole is divided by the average of MVSV. So let's see how much CAPI we get. Now see, dividend, you do not get any tax advantage. So 1 minus T is deliberately kept aside. You are not multiplying D with 1 minus T because tax benefit is not there in preference dividend, right? So equal to plus 25 divided by 10, and then we'll have 175 divided by 2. So may I have a final answer from the students, please? How much we have got? I'm waiting. Please convey your answer in the chat box, everyone. All of you, please convey your answers in the chat box. इतने छोटे छोटे चिंटू चिंटू काइंड ऑफ सम्स में भी आपको तकलीफ होती है? ये वो वाला सम तो बड़ा है, लेकिन ये तो छोटा छोटा है ना चिंटू चिंटू. तो बड़े बड़े सम्स में छोटे छोटे वर्किंग नोट्स होते रहते हैं. What do you get over here? ये total final वाला. Himali is given 0.75. No, Himali, the total.
No, sir, I took a few wrong numbers. I'll need to calculate again.
Okay, fine, no worries. So 11 plus divided by 10 matlab ki 2.5. So 11 plus 2.5 would be 13.5 divided by 175 divided by 2. We get 87.5. So 13.5 divided by 87.5.
0.15.
Very good. 0.1543. So I'm straight away taking it to our main formatting table, 0.15483. Okay, sir, then it comes to debentures. Let's go to the debentures now. Working note number 3. Yes. Now, debentures as well, we can find by using the same formula. That's what we had discussed in the morning session as well. But here the tax benefit will be there on interest. So 1 minus t will take place. I in bracket 1 minus t plus mv minus sv divided by n. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is, the whole is divided by the average of MVSV. The whole is divided by the average of MVSV. That's gonna be my KD, but of debentures. So I is the interest per debenture in rupee. So what is the interest rate? Interest rate is 13.5 on debenture. So each debenture is of 100 rupees. So on 100 rupees you get 13.5%. So obviously 13.5 rupees you get per debenture. So these every calculations are per debenture, per preference shares. Please do not forget that. So 13.5. 1 minus tax rate. Sir, how much tax rate is given? 40% भैया. So we can write 0.40. हमारी अधूरी कहानी चाचा जी को भूलना नहीं है. ये mv minus sv divided by n is that चाचा जी who comes in the marriage function, जिसको आप ज्यादा भाव ना दो तो मुंह फुला के बैठ जाते हैं. तो हमें किसी को भी मुंह फुला के बैठना नहीं देना है. किसी को भी हमारा फंक्शन स्पॉइल नहीं करने देना है. mv minus sv maturity value. Now for the debentures as well, if you read the question, debentures are redeemable after 6 years and selling at 80 per debenture. So no information is given to you related to market maturity value, sorry. So we assume that whatever the face value is there will be a maturity value, right? So face value is 100 given to us in the question. So market value, maturity value will be taken as 100, simple. Minus sell value. So again, sell value is the issue price plus minus some flotation cost, right? So how much money will be received by you? Not more than the market price of this, right? So market price is given to us, no? The debentures are traded in public at some market price, 80 rupees. So that will be taken as the issue price. No one will give you a penny more than what it deserves as per the market. कोई आपके पास से डिबेंचर क्यों ले? मार्केट में 80 रुपए में अवेलेबल है तो भैया, तो इश्यू प्राइस कौन सी हो जाएगी? 80. आई एम टेकिंग इट एज 80 divided by number of years. How many number of years are there in a maturity? Sir, 6 years. So let me just write n as 6. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the average of MVSV. Now it's just the arbitrary calculations required to be done from your side. I hope everyone will be doing it along with me. 13.5 multiplied by 0.60. I get 8.1. I have solved this. Then 10 minus 80 divided by 6. So basically 20 divided by 6, right? So 20 divided by 6 will be 3.33333333 infinite number of times. Let's not go into that. We have got the main denominator now. So 180 divided by 2 will be 90. So let's just add the numerator there. So we get 11.4333 to be divided by 90. So we get 0.127037. So I can also write it like 12.70%, but no, we'll be writing over there in the main format in decimals only, because every other cost of finance are written in decimal there. 0.127037. Point 123037. Oh, 0.127037 is there. Okay. And then the last source of finance, some people will be like, sir, इतना बड़ा sum मैं क्या करूं बेटा, अभी है तो है, करना पड़ेगा. 15% of term loans, you get the tax advantage on this interest as well. Whether it is a term loan or debenture, it is basically outsider's liability and you pay the interest on it. And when it comes to interest, tax advantage is available. So 1 minus t will be applicable over here. So when it comes to term loans, you just straight away take the loan interest as the KD and do some tax adjustment. So whatever the after tax KD you get, no, just take it straight away over there. Do you have any session at 2:30 right now, guys? 2:30 को है कोई session कि नहीं है?
No, sir.
Okay, working out number 4. I'll be just extended by 5 minutes, so that we'll be able to complete this. So KD of loan equal to interest rate multiplied by 1 minus tax rate. So what is the interest rate on loans? That's 15%. ये भाई साहब ने बहुत खर्चे से लोन ली है, 15% कौन देता है? tax rate है 40. So 15% I am writing just as 0.15 multiplied by 1 minus 0.40, which is the tax rate. So 0.15 multiplied by 0.60. 15 छक 90, so we get 0.09. That's gonna be my KD of loan. Let me take it over there in our main sum. 0.09. Now the book values you people have got. Weight can be found from the book values. And equivalent cost can be found accordingly. Let me just write the book values there. Equity capital is of 15 crores. I am writing 15 crores. मिंडे में गलती नहीं करनी है, अदरवाइज आपको मिंडा मिल सकता है. Preference capital of 1 crore. Reserves and surplus of 20 crores. Then debentures of 10 crores. And the term loans of 12 crores 50 lakhs. Let's do the total of all this. Let's see what is the total book value we get. हाँ, 20 plus 10 plus 12.5. So 58 crores 50 lakhs is the book value. Now we'll find the weight of this book values, and then accordingly the equivalent cost will be found. So this is a small exercise I am leaving up to you. You will be doing it in your homework, and market value weight question will be solved by me in the next session. So that will be effectively the end of the cost of finance. So we can straight away jump to some analytical aspects of this cost of finance now. See, we got to have the understanding about how this cost of finance and everything are calculated fundamentally first of all. Then we can move to advanced analytical aspects of it, right? So in the next session, we'll go to some other aspects, leverage, EBIT, EPS analysis by using the Excel, by using some data, real life data. We'll look into that. Okay, so that's it from my side for the session. Mr. Dhruv wants to leave for some meeting. Okay, fine, no worries, you can. Everyone, please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance for the day. Bye-bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy the rest of the day. See you all in the next session, guys. Take care, enjoy your day.